Hello, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I just want to start off this video by saying thank you for all the love and support you've shown me from my first video. And I'm happy and glad to know that there are people out there that actually enjoyed the movie and don't just hate my guts. Thank you. Anyways, let's get into this Q&A. Death by Thigh says, do I speak any other languages? Yes, I am half French, so I'm semi-fluent in French, I'd say. I also studied Spanish from like 7th or 8th grade all the way through senior year of high school, so like 5 or 6 years of Spanish, but I kind of understand it and can read it, but I don't really speak it that well. And I also studied Japanese for about a year and a half, and when I went to Japan, I was able to talk with people, and I can still kind of read hiragana and katakana, but I'm rusty. It's been a while, so I probably need to get back on that. Poopy Parisian says, how did you get your screenplays to do well in competitions? The thing about screenwriting competitions is that you kind of just have to get lucky and hope that the reader chosen to read your script understands it and likes it. Because I've had scripts in competitions where the reader will give me feedback and it's like, I didn't get it. I don't understand what it's about. And that's it. I'm out of the running. So you just have to hope that the person reading, which is the competition itself, works like that, where some random person will read your script and give it a rating, and then it moves on through the levels of the competition. But if that person doesn't like it, then it's over. So obviously the best thing to do is have a script that people can like and understand. And in order to do that, it just takes practice and having people read your script. And that's something you can do too, is that you can find readers, or you can get there's services online now where you can have people read your script and give you feedback, and that's one way to help you find out if your script's actually good and can make it far in a competition. Logan Jinja Bailey asks, thoughts on current state of fashion in film and the origin of Jesse Graves. Okay, so those are two pretty big questions. I think both fashion and film right now are going through this transitional phase of the business model we knew from before isn't working as well as it was, and so we're having to figure out what the next step is, now with streaming and the internet and all this other stuff. So it's developing into more of I almost want to say like it's becoming more open, because I feel like more people have the opportunity to make their own movies and stuff and write and upload it online. So it's becoming more democratized in a way. However, the big companies are shrinking and consolidating and merging into these monopolies of streamers and companies, and that's just going to be that side of the business. And then there'll probably be a very small independent side, grassroots, which I encourage. I think that's a good part of it. And for the second part, Jesse Graves, that's an interesting story. Okay. So Jesse Graves is my alter ego, and he started out that whenever I would feel nervous or like anxious, I would tell myself, what would Jesse do? How would Jesse act in this scenario? And then later on, I thought of using Jesse Graves as my stage name for music, and that never happened. And then finally, like 2 years ago, I decided to turn him into a newscaster clown. And that was my first YouTube channel. That's who Jesse Graves is today. He's like a comedian, late night host, newscaster. Strange.ways asks, how to get into modeling. Okay, so I won't lie. Getting into modeling is probably the most elitist kind of decision making that's out there. It's very much yes or no. If you don't have the right measurements or the right look, then you probably won't make it. I know it's horrible, but that's kind of how it is. I hope that doesn't come off as pompous or something, but what I've seen being in the fashion world is that brands want a very specific image or look, and if you're not fitting that, or if you're not in season, then you'll have a hard time working. More and more, though, there are other modeling classes of like beauty and commercial, and there's plenty of jobs out there, so don't let it discourage you. There's plenty of modeling to be done, but I say if you want to try your luck, take some pictures of yourself in like a basic black or white shirt on a very nondescript background wall, close up, full length, maybe a video of you walking, and submit that to agencies that have submission pages and see what they say. Yeah, I'll probably make a more in-depth video about that because that's a big topic. Jamie Mars says, what things do I think are uncool? Here's my theory about things being cool and uncool. I think anything can be cool and anything can be uncool. It just depends on time and perception. Like, something can be cool until suddenly everyone decides it's not cool anymore, and vice versa. I would say that something I think is cool would be authenticity and helping others. Something uncool, being mean for no reason. That's not very nice. I am an owl 15. What was my favorite acting role? Well, I gotta say Roderick is still my favorite acting role. I truly had a great time playing Roderick. I mean, he's just so fun and freeing to play. I could do all kinds of physical comedy, improv. You live that character of Roderick. And he's a fun guy. And it's also like my only starring role, my first starring role, and my longest acting job I've done. I also played a character called Kevin in Yellowjackets, and he was fun because it was a whole like 90s emo goth kid look, and I always liked that, and I thought I looked good in it. So Skylar Smothers says, how would you suggest an 18-year-old get into the filmmaking industry? Whoa, okay. I'm not sure that there's like one answer or one right answer to this question, since there's so many ways to go about it. Most people go to school for it, but that can be expensive. I mean, I would check if there's a local community college or maybe a smaller film school that's cheaper and has a good film program. But my advice, honestly, would be to just start making things. Like start writing down your ideas, write scripts. There's plenty of free script writing softwares out there. Shoot video, train your eye to start looking at shot composition and scene composition and stuff like that, how movement works. Edit footage. That always helps because editing can really change the pacing and tone of a scene. Get your stuff good and then get that stuff in front of people. Submit to competitions, submit to festivals, post it online. Send it to people that work in the business or try and get some kind of contact. But the best, I would say competitions, festivals, just to get a name for yourself, start putting it out there because people need to see it. That's really what it is. But in order for people to see it, you got to make it. So just go out and make something, really. But I'll talk more about this. I'll make a video about this for sure. Contradictionary Fly says, anything that inspires Jesse Graves' makeup, are you Wasian? For Jesse Graves, a lot of comic books, video games, anime, kabuki, Lee Bowery. It's a blend of everything, and for the most part I come up with an idea on the spot. Usually it kind of just comes to me. See if it works with the outfit too. See if it works on camera. Those are big things. And yes, I am Wasian. I'm part Japanese. Daughter of Hungry Ghosts asks, what's a different life path that you could have taken that you think about often? I remember not so long ago opening a letter to myself that I had written in 8th grade. And it was this thing in school that we wrote down what we think we'd be doing in the future, and I read it and I wrote down 3 jobs that I thought I would do. The first one being Rockstar. Like, as a kid, I grew up with music. I took piano lessons. I was in an after-school band. I was in the symphony band, music band in high school. I played the euphonium. Yeah, that's what it looks like. I played that. And then in 2019, I actually started taking singing lessons. While I was like really getting serious into it, I thought about going to music school. And then, I don't know, it kind of just crashed and burned because I was so delusional. I thought I was able to sing like Jeff Buckley, and then that was nowhere near the truth. The second one was chef, but cooking school was out of my price range. And the third one was archaeologist, but that was a child. I thought archaeology was like Indiana Jones. It's not. It's a lot of school and a lot of work. But yeah, here I am making YouTube, but I love it. Sophia Serrano 8855 says, what was your favorite part of playing Roderick and being part of this movie? Okay. There's actually 2 parts I love about being Roderick. The first being that since it was a comedy, I kind of had free reign to improvise and go all out with my performance. For example, the air drum scene and the car freak out scene where I think I got shot, it was kind of improvised physically, and all the screaming in the film was mine. I came up with that. And as an actor, that's really freeing to just be able to explore the performance and be part of that and, collaborate in that way. And the second part was just making people happy, making people laugh was a nice thing to know that more people enjoyed the movie than I thought. So that was nice. Page R3675 says, how was it working on Ingrid Goes West? Okay, I had a little part in Ingrid Goes West, skater kid in a parking lot, and Aubrey Plaza comes up to me and like offers me $100 to punch her in the face. And I had a great time doing that job. I was really nervous because it was my first ever movie role, and I was opposite Aubrey Plaza, who was a big star. A lot of it was improv, and that was intimidating. We had to come up with stuff, and also we did like 15 takes of me just fake punching her in the face. I think we had a good time because at the end of it, Aubrey Plaza came out to me and she said that she found me funny. So that was cool. That was nice. So she's cool. But yeah, that was a great time on Ingrid. Jai Too Cold For You says, have you ever thought of making a gaming channel? I haven't, actually. I am a gamer. I kind of only like play one game, and I've played it for the past 15 years, and I'm addicted. It's World of Warcraft. I've been an addict to World of Warcraft for as long as I can remember. But I don't think I'm particularly good at video games, and my computer couldn't handle it, so I don't think I'll do that. Maybe one day I'll try it, or maybe I'll stream. I don't know. Stickbar_ says, I know you said acting isn't your dream, but do you have a dream role movie you'd love to be a part of? Ooh, my dream role. There were definitely parts that I auditioned for that I wished I got, like Jonathan Byers in Stranger Things, or Elle in Death Note. Something I really wanted to play was, I really wanted to play Spike Spiegel in Cowboy Bebop. That was definitely a dream role. And also Nightwing. That'd be pretty cool, because I think Nightwing is one of my favorite comic book heroes. Call me _Dino 211 asks, did they tell you the titles for the sequels? No, they didn't really mention what the sequels were planned to be, but I do remember talking with Jeff Kinney one day, and he mentioned how much he wanted Cabin Fever to be a Christmas movie, and that he had all these ideas for it, and I know that ended up being the next movie, the animated movie. So I'm guessing that would have been number 2. I don't know what the third film might have been. Sorry. CMJ says, did you meet Jeff Kinney? I did. I did get to meet Jeff Kinney, actually. He's incredibly nice and an absolute creative powerhouse. I mean, the man loves writing Wimpy Kid books. I remember one time we were talking and he told me how the character of Roderick was based off his older brother, and that what stuck with him about my audition was that I was wearing this Iron Maiden t-shirt, and it was the same album cover that his older brother, who Roderick's based off of, had hanging on his wall as a poster. So that left an impression on him and was memorable for my audition. And funny enough, that t-shirt that I wore is actually my older brother's t-shirt that he let me borrow for that audition. So, older brothers. Speaking of, Nicole Bragg 8625 says, do you have any siblings? I do. I have an older brother who I'm very close with. We shared a room together for most of our lives. Beans S204, what's your favorite type of music? And if you continue to become a rock star or whatever, do you plan on releasing music to the masses? I like all types of music, but some of my favorite artists are Tom Waits, Korn, Sinead O'Connor, Jeff Buckley, Rolling Stones, David Bowie. Sade. I love Sade. As fun as being a rock star sounds, I don't think that I'll be pursuing music anytime soon, but who knows? That could all change. Gianna Zoe, do you generally like filming the movie / were you a fan of the books beforehand? Filming Diary of a Wimpy Kid is still one of the best experiences I've ever had. Everyone was wonderful to work with. It was a great time. I don't regret it at all. Was I a fan of the books beforehand? The thing is, I never read any of the books growing up. I had known about them, but I never read one. And I did watch the original trilogy, though, and I did enjoy them. I thought Devon Bostick was actually really good in those. I can't deny. I'm sorry, but he is still the better Roderick. Abigail Joshi 1601 says, how would you compare the difference of the sets of Wimpy Kid and Ingrid Goes West? I assume Ingrid Goes West was more serious in a creative sense. Was it like a big, huge, noticeable difference? Actually, they weren't really that different, since both of them were technically comedies. There's a lot of improv on both, more so on Ingrid. Since Wimpy Kid is a kid's movie, it's definitely more monitored and controlled in terms of what we can say and do. But in reality, the main difference was just scale, with size. There were way more people working on Wimpy Kid. There was more money, more days of work, bigger sets. It's just bigger. But both films were a lot of fun to work on. Death by Thigh says, do I still get residuals from Diary of a Wimpy Kid? Yes, I do. It's like every 5 to 6 months, I think now, I get a check, and the most recent one I got was a little more than $1,000, I think. So far, Wimpy Kid has paid me pretty well in residuals. No, it's been good. It's been nice. Girly Brain Rot says, do you regret doing the movie? No, not at all. It was and still is the best acting experience I've ever had in my life, and I find myself very lucky to have been able to do that movie and portray that character. Even if I had like a time machine or I had a chance to do it over again, I would still do that movie. But if I did have a time machine, I probably would go back and like buy cryptocurrency or something instead. Icy Froggy says, you are artsy AF, so are you trying to do more creative-based jobs like making content or just acting? First off, thank you. Second, yes, I do have other creative outlets that I'm pursuing besides acting. Most of my focus right now is definitely on my YouTube channels, this one and my Goon Worldwide channel. I also screenwrite, and so maybe one day I'll have a movie made. A dream of mine, though, would be turning one of my scripts into an anime. I'd love to have that happen, but yeah, stick around and tune in, because I will be announcing some cool stuff soon, and I'll be busy here. Gwen Hayes, do you know your astrology big three? Sagittarius Sun, Leo Moon, Scorpio Rising. Yeah, I'm ran through. Chris the Cowboy Alien, where were you born? Los Angeles, California. UCLA, baby, for life. A Book 2141, are you really related to Robin Wright? Yes, she is my aunt. Most people don't make the connection because we don't look anything alike. But yes. Emma _Bigja. Sorry if I said that wrong. Who made you laugh most on set? I had a great time with Joshua Hoover, who played Mac Digby. He was a lot of fun to watch perform, and he was great. And Chris Coppola, who played Beardo. He was fantastic. I mean, every scene he was in, he made me laugh. There were multiple times where I almost ruined takes because I was laughing too hard. But fantastic actor. Just Webb, 1987. Were you in Yellowjackets? Yes, I was in the first episode of Yellowjackets, and I played a high school version of Kevin. And then they replaced me with someone younger and local in Canada to where they were filming. So, rip. Doomus _ says, I just finished watching that docuseries about what happened behind the scenes to child actors at Nickelodeon. I'm 15 and I want to get into voice acting on TV shows, but I'm scared I'll get abused or something. Is there any advice that can be given? Should I wait until I'm older or go for it, as long as I can be sure it's safe? Well, yeah. What happened to Drake Bell and those kids is horrible. It's a known thing in the industry that there are a lot of creeps and pervs working in all levels, from big studios all the way down to like small independent movies and short films. And I myself auditioned for a lot of Nick and Disney shows when I was young, but I never got any. Throughout my whole time working, I never had anything happen to me, thankfully. And I know a lot of others that were safe when they were child actors. I think Hollywood is getting better about protecting and keeping their sets safe. Yeah, I'd say, you know what? Give it a shot. Pursue your dreams. Don't live with that regret of what if. Just try it and see what happens. And if, you don't like it anymore, then get out of the game. But just remember that there's always going to be people that are going to say or do anything to get what they want. And so watch out for them. Those are the dangerous ones. Nargina Barnett 614 says, I understand if you want to move past the topic, but I'm curious as to how you moved through all of the unnecessary hate that must have been so difficult, especially since you stated you were alone to fight. How did you get through it? Okay, so I mentioned in my last video that I went through like a depressive episode for 3 years. In those 3 years, what really helped me, it's going to sound weird, but what really helped me was I fell really deep into like a Magic the Gathering addiction. Yes, the collectible card game Magic the Gathering. I used to go play like 3 to 4 times a week for like 2 to 3 years at least. And I was really good at it. I was playing competitions and I was I was good. I first got into it, actually I think I first got into it on the set of Wimpy Kid, because during the game convention sequence, they had a whole display up for Magic the Gathering cards, and one day when we were done filming with that, they were getting rid of it, and I was like, well, what are you guys going to do with all this merchandise? And they're like, I don't know, you want it? And I was like, sure. So they ended up giving me a bunch of free Magic the Gathering cards, and from there I just really got into it. Found a local store on Melrose, shout out Mega City 1, and I would go there 3 times a week, 4 times a week, and play Magic the Gathering. I did that for a while, and my family supported me in that because it was helping me feel normal and get away from thinking about Not My Rodrick and my career and all this stuff, and just focusing on something that made me happy, which was playing a card game. I still love Magic the Gathering. I don't play it as much, and I kind of got rid of my collection, but yeah, Magic the Gathering saved me from that dark time. Lo-Fi Starlit says, did you ever see the video Devon Bostick made in response to the Not My Rodrick meme? If so, did you love his response or hate it? I did. I'm thankful that they got Devon to make a video. I'm sure it helped because a lot of people were kind of speaking on his behalf, but I don't think Devon really cared that much. I don't know. I don't want to speak for him, but I don't think he really hated me for replacing him or the studios or whatever. But I never really talked to Devon. I'm sure he's a nice guy. He's a great actor, and he seems very cool about everything. But yeah, no, I'm grateful that Devon made that video. It's nice of him. Well, that was a little Q&A. Let me know if you enjoyed it. I know I missed some of your questions. I'm sorry if I did. If you have more, leave some more. I will think about making another video. Thanks for tuning in again. And for all those questions that I kind of left unanswered, I'll make further in-depth videos regarding those topics in the future. So stick around and tune in for that. And for everyone else, thank you. And I'll see you next time.